What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Flying Brown's Garage. In today's video, this thing has been used and used and used, and it is probably one of the #1 tractors that really ain't done much to. We've just kind of ran it. A couple little mods here and there, but nothing really with the engine or anything of that sort. I think today we're going to take this, take it in the shop, and do some maintenance on it because it is dying for it. And there's quite a bit that we need to do. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead, go over here, and move the beast. Just sitting over here idling. I just charged up the battery last night. We're going to move it in the back, and then we're going to bring the tractor up in here and start pointing out what needs to be done and addressing those issues, getting them solved, and hopefully having us a reliable one again. I mean, it is still reliable, but it's got its fair share of problems right now, and we'll go over that when we get it up in here. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright. See if I can start out with third. Luckily, the steering angle kind of helps me stop. Oh yeah. She sounds good. Go ahead and shut her down. Put her caps on her stacks to keep the water from getting in, and that is a good looking build, guys. I'd love to get a new seat for it eventually, but for now, it's just whatever. I only got the bag over it to keep the rain from getting the seat all wet. I think I'm going to pull the little straps in the back right here and tighten the bag up, tie it. So if y'all ever need a temporary seat cover, it's not the prettiest, but damned if it don't work. Damn if it don't work. As you see. I wish someone would come on and go ahead and get this tractor from me and put it to good use. Because it's just sitting here. It needs a home. Someone come give this thing a home. She's a good one. She just needs a new place to live. Alright. Now it is time for this unit here. Let's get her up in high gear, neutral. We gotta fix this dash, it is loose. I also want to support my hood, change out a gas tank, quite a few things. Eventually make my shifter longer. I'd like to. Alright, we have got quite a bit of work ahead of us. This thing needs a good bit of TLC. I'm trying to think what we're going to start with first. Probably under the hood. Pulling and cleaning things and getting things right and ready to go again. So alright, so started with the hood, and since this is no longer a mud toy, we decided to take off Mud Slut. Plus, just seeing that kind of gives me bad memories, and I won't tell you why. All I will say is people I usually ride with, and I don't really want to think about shit, so took them off. And I don't know if it's going to leave an outline. It might not. It might not. But we got all that off. I took the top of the stickers off the hood too because they were coming off and fading and stuff, but I did salvage them. I put them on the Flying Brown's garage hood up there. But yeah, we're gonna get all this sticky stuff off and then clean up the hood. I've got the hood tube on each side because before this hood would fold when you would open it up. It would fold in this area because of how much weight is on this hood and how much I cut out. So I tubed it on both sides and bolted it in. I also straightened out all the dents in the front that used to be here. Straightened out the hood. There's the other tube. And it actually is very sturdy now. And the only thing I'd like to do at this point is build some kind of a hood prop that folds up, because this hood is a little heavy for it to stay up on its own. So probably build a hood prop, and then once we build a hood prop, then we'll be able to get in and actually start servicing the engine. Alright, so I couldn't figure out a hood prop that would fold up and out of the way and not be seen. So I ended up going with these straps here on the hood, which I don't think look bad.
and they just hook down here to the post. Then I can take them off, drop the hood, and hook them in. I don't think that's too bad. Nah, it'll work. So now that we got that done and we got all our residue off the hood, there's a little bit of you'll probably be able to see it in the sunlight a little bit. You can kind of see the outline of the sticker up there, but it came out pretty good. Hood straight, lights all nice and straight and clean, and I kind of shine the hood up a little bit. Looks pretty good. There's still a little bit of a dent there on the grill, but I ain't gonna be able to get to that. Looks better than it did though, so that's what matters. I guess now we can I think I might move on to doing the light instead in the back, or relocate it up here. It's not really doing me any good right there. Light's getting blocked from the post, so I want to bring it up here, make an L bracket, kind of come back, put it back here somewhere so I still have this open area. So I guess we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, I found an L bracket for that, but I went ahead and resorted to finish fixing the front end first. Remember we had our dash was really loose. We put in screws on each side where they belong, because it was just missing the screws. We tightened them down. We went up a size and a nice thread to bite into it. And then I put some self-tapping screws in the front here to kind of help that stay put. Also went ahead and extended our shifter just a little bit, and we changed out our shifter knob down here for one that we had that felt a little more comfortable for the high and low. And then we have, like I said, a extended shifter. I just took and lopped a bolt off, found a nut, fits both threads. This is the same thread as the ball, and used it as an extension. So now it has extended shifter throw. I like that. Yeah. So dash is fixed, hood's fixed, shifter is fixed. Everything is nice and tight up here, as you see. And this thing is not wiggling anymore. We found out that our fan still works. Our horn still works. Got a front light, rear light that we need to relocate. This is headlights. And why isn't this one working? Maybe it's blown. Let's see if we can find one. Alright, most definitely the bulb. We got that replaced, and the light's fixed on the hood. So all electronics are working. Whip lights, of course, are disconnected actually. I just thought of that. But yeah, we got our bulb changed out, all that's good. We need to change out our terminals here, because as you see, what I've been using is hose clamp, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So I'd like to switch that out for some real top post terminal and get that right on both sides, and then probably move on to the light in the back. Well, leftover pieces of bed frame that we used to build the frame for the seat in the 79 Ford F-150 shop truck is coming in handy, because I repurposed it for the light bracket. Got it bolted in where the eyelet is bolted in, and all I got to do is relocate the light up here and relocate the wiring to extend, and we're good to go. Just cleaned and hooked our whip lights back up before we do our backlight. They're working great. Fan's still working, horn still works, front lights still working, back light bar or pod, and front light bar. Okay, I wanted to check all my electrical before I go any further. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove our light back here, get it relocated to our new spot. Alright, we have our light relocated. We've yet to hook it up, but we are about to. I like it up there a lot better. Did leave a hole in the rack, but oh well. Like, this rack is perfect anyway. It's pretty busted up, but it serves its purpose, so that's all that matters. I think there's a key broke off in this. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say cut it off, but I guess I can pull it right out. Perfect. Take our rag off. Put our seat back down. Oh yeah, it gives me a lot more room behind the seat. Perfect. Well, let's go ahead and move out our wires for our light. Alright, unfortunately I'm out of butt connectors, but I made some butt connectors out of some terminal ends and taped them up. There's our light. Also went ahead, I found some grommets for the waterproofing the switches, and they're not made for these switches, but I made them work anyway, so the front light works with that. There we got our rear light, and it is a lot better than it was before. And then of course our fan and our lights there. Everything now has a cover over it. And those, at least the red matches the red, but the blue means front. So yeah, that's relocated. The rear end is technically, I ain't gotta mess with it. So let's I'm gonna check the time, see how much more time I got tonight to work on this thing, and we'll see if we can progress, or do I need to call tonight and come back out tomorrow. So went ahead and installed a battery terminal there, and we're about to install one there, and then that'll be cleaned up and done and get a lot better of a connection. Did start pretty well like that and everything worked fine, but I'd rather it be on a actual terminal if I'm gonna have it like that. So let's swap that other one out and get that done. Alright, we've done our battery terminals. There's our negative. We did not have a plate for that, so I made one, and yes, it's split, but it is a good contact. It is clamped down on there tight, and it ain't going nowhere. See, and those ain't going nowhere. Positive's good. Everything's been cleaned. We're going to throw a charger on this thing, let it charge up. Otherwise, it's good. I'll probably let it charge tomorrow, or I'll check this battery tonight and see how it's looking, and then go from there, because I've got the battery charger on the general, and I'd like to charge this thing up some overnight. Otherwise, we got a good bit done. The only things we have left to do is tuning up the engine itself, replacing our fuel tank, and checking everything, oil change, and wash it. And then I need to get a little bit of welding wire because we have a exhaust leak right there, and I'm wondering if that's what the ticking's coming from, is that exhaust leak. So I need to seal that up, but otherwise everything else is looking good on this unit, and perfect. Everything works. Again, it's a lot better. I like the shifter and the way it is. I like how the dash is now secured. I like how it's got boots over the switches for all that good stuff, and it is looking really good. But we're going to call it for the night, and I will see you guys back out here tomorrow on this project, where hopefully we will get it completed. I'll probably try to figure out some way to weld that. It's just a little bit. Maybe I can use a little bit of wire that's out here. I don't know. I'm going to try. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to finish this thing up. Alright, it is the next day. Got the supervisor out here today, and we're about to start on the tow rig, formerly known as Mud Slut. Got a good bit done last night. We got our light relocated to the top with a new bracket. What else did we do? We extended our shifter, added a new shift knob down here for the high and low. We added boots for our switches, hooked all our switches back up, got everything working. We went ahead and tubed our hood to support it on both sides. Got the decals off the hood, got some straps up here to hold the hood down, got the lights in the front fixed, hood straightened out, cleaned and looking better. What else? We did some other things. Oh yeah, we put new terminals on the battery. They're no longer hose clamps with raw battery, raw terminal or raw cable just sticking in there. They're actually top post terminals now, and everything is working electronically and physically. We also tightened up our dash really good, and it's nice and secure. we had added a new steering wheel to this before we sold the red one. This was the steering wheel I had on the red tractor, and I didn't want it to go with it, so I put on a basic steering wheel on that one, that the ones I usually don't like, which is this design here. I'm not really crazy about these wheels. Those there. Don't really like them. So, used to it had this big boy on there, and I decided to put it on here because I like it. It looks like a actual race wheel. So I put it on here, and then I put that one on the tow rig, and then I switched it out for this one before the red tractor left, which I like this wheel a lot better than the other wheels.
I just wish it wasn't loose on the post.
I'm gonna figure out how to tighten that up. I don't like my wheel loose like that. But yeah, we're probably gonna go ahead and run this thing for a few minutes, let it warm up, get nice and hot, and then we'll drop and do an oil change. Get fresh oil in it, pull our plugs and clean them, and we'll go from there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drop our oil. Pretty tight. I wonder how long it's been since someone's changed it. Well, no, I can't say that because I did change this oil at one point. It's been a year at least. Now that I think about it, I've been through so many machines, it's hard to keep up with all of them.
Look at that mess. I love where the drain plug's set up on this engine though. Perfect spot. We're going to wait for this to drain out and then pull our oil filter.
Alright, let's remove our oil filter. I love how these frame rails are set up. You could just drain the oil so easily. It's nice and clean. Let's get us an oil filter on there, and we can go from there. Alright, so we're going through oil filters to see what would be compatible with this one. And I was hoping it'd be the blue one. I just like the color. But it's not. Threads are different. So it looks like we're with this Kohler here. It's been used before, but it was used with clean oil, so I think I'll reuse it. Alright, let's fill this thing up. Let that settle for a minute, and then we'll check it. See how it's reading.
So I want to take a quick second and pause the video and ask y'all to help me with something. I need y'all to do me a favor. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Smash it. Smash that bell. Go like the videos. You know, tell me where you're from. Say hi. Whatever. Ask me questions. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. And I cannot do that without your guys' help. So definitely go subscribe. Check out the Facebook, the Instagram, the Snapchat, and now we have a TikTok. You can just go type in Flying Brown's Garage and you will find me. All the profile pictures are the same. It's easy to find. And yeah, give me some likes, give me some subscribes, and all that good stuff. I'm trying to build this, and I can't build it without everybody's help. So, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. You know, got a lot of good videos coming, constantly coming, and I'm constantly sourcing new projects. So, stay tuned, and with that being said, let's get back to the video.
Alright, it's been about 5 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that. Accurate reading. Right on the full mark. Perfect. Alright. We went ahead and cleaned off the inside and outside of the air breather cover. Kind of wiped down a few things. I checked the oil again. It was a little low after settling, so I topped it off again and made it the right level. We also just removed our steering wheel. It is no longer wobbly. I tightened it down and it is nice and sturdy now. So it's one less thing to worry about. Now we can focus on, let's see, what do we need to focus on? I guess we'll pull our plugs and check them, clean them, maybe install some different ones, depends. We'll look at what we're seeing, see how bad they look, all that good stuff. I did see there is a couple leaks we have to fix. Of course, we got to fix the exhaust leak right there, and we have to fix a valve cover leak as well. And I believe what is probably going on is the valve cover is getting cooked by the exhaust leak, and I do believe that is what's making it leak. I also think that maybe, just maybe, we have an issue with the exhaust leak, because you know it was ticking for a long time. I wonder if that's what it's from. It's from the exhaust leak. I'd like to hope so. But with that being said, we are going to go ahead and pull our plugs, check them, and either clean them and re-gap them and reinstall them, or install some newer, different plugs in this engine. Probably different plugs. I don't even know what these are. Well, let's pull them and find out. Alright, let's get this plug out first. It's the easiest one to get to. I wish I had a borescope. Oh, hey, buddy. What's up? You come to supervise and check the spark plug? How's it look? Does it look good to you? Does it look good to you? Marshall says it's okay. You think it's okay? Well, it's really not too bad. It's got a little carbon on the end of it. It's a Champion. Not too crazy about the Champions. Let's slap a set of auto lights in it, because I know I have some. So let's get some and compare them. So, here's our old Champion. Now, I found these plugs the other day. They're auto lights, but they're the fine tip. You see, hell, they're the same spark plug. So, I'm going to get a gap reading and check the gap, make sure it's right. And I think we're going to install these fine tip spark plugs in there instead of these Champions. See how they do. If they don't do well, we'll switch to the fat tip fine electrode. Auto light 5224s. But for now, I'm going to try these to see how they operate. See if they do any better. Open the burn a little harder. I need that right now. But, yeah. I'm going to go in, take a break, get me a gap reading on these spark plugs, and make sure they're right. And then we'll come back out here and throw them in, and hopefully we get better response and better idle, better run, all that good stuff. Alright, our gap is 25 thousandths. And even though my gap gauge is broke, it is broke right there at 25. And that's it. So we're going to run with that. Let's go ahead and install this plug.
this thing up and see how it sounds.
Alright, so we changed out our spark plugs. Found out that one was a Briggs plug and one's a Champion, so guess I was hard up for plugs a year ago. I forget how this ended up like this. But now it's got 2 new auto lights in it. I'm gonna start this thing real quick, see how it runs, see if it runs any better. Not gonna be able to run it long because it still has an exhaust leak. Got that knocking noise, but it runs a little better. At least I think. Hopefully that ticking will be cured by the exhaust leak. I'm hoping that's what it is. This is an exhaust leak. But in all reality, I think it's a valve. I have a feeling it's a valve in that engine. I think this engine is pretty worn. I think if the hour meter actually worked on this thing, I think it would show a lot. More than I'm used to. Greg could say 9999999 across that thing for all I know. Well, I guess we can move on now that we got the spark plugs in. This seems to run a lot better, so I think I'm going to run those plugs in it. I can deal with the fine tip if they actually function properly. So since they're seem to be in good start, we'll leave them in there. Trying to think what else we need to do next. I know we got to put a tank in it at some point in this video. I've already got the engine pretty much situated. I might try to see if I can somehow weld this up with the welding wire I have. I guess let's give it a shot, because the quicker I can get that exhaust leak fixed, quicker I can go ahead and move on to the valve cover, because I don't want to fix the valve cover if the exhaust is just going to keep leaking onto it and keep baking it. So let's address that real quick, because as you see, there is a decent sized crack in it, and it is pointing right straight up at the valve cover. That is not good, because these valve covers on these Kohler engines, I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to do it, but they're freaking plastic. So that bolt's coming out. Or is it? But yeah, the valve covers are plastic, so Kohler, not your best idea. Should have left your valve covers metal, or even aluminum. Aluminum would have been fine, but Plastic no good. But I guess let's go ahead and get the welder out, see if we can fix this little crack. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But I know I can. I just need welding wire to do it. Probably gonna have to kind of rig weld it because I don't have a roll wire. I've just got little strands here and there, so I'm probably gonna have to kind of pull and weld, pull and weld, pull and weld. But however we got to get it done, let's get it done. I will say though, I sure am glad I relocated that light, because look at it now. Huh. Big difference on what it was before. I dig that. And that one's just, you can tell the difference in here. That's a good light. That's a really good light. But that back one is a lot brighter than it was sitting behind that bar. And I love its positioning. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, that did particularly work, but it didn't work the way I wanted it to. That is probably one of the shittiest welds I've ever created. And it is all due to the not having any wire. But that looks like hell. So for temporarily, until I can get some welding wire, what I need to do is I need to find some kind of heat shield to wrap this in, so I can clamp it and seal it that way, because I don't want it baking my valve cover for sure, and I'm going to need this tractor, so I need to fix it temporarily for now. So unfortunately we're going to have to probably take a file and file all that back down. Alright, I was going to try to get some heat shield and clamp it on there for now, but I don't have anything that is susceptible to that. But I'm going to go against everything I believe, and I'm going to put RTV on it. They say RTV's, the red RTV's only for exhaust. Well, we're about to see if it does hold up to exhaust. Never used it on exhaust. Then we're gonna glob that shit on there. Let me go get a glove, because yeah, usually I'll get it on my hands, but I'm about to eat chicken, and I eat chicken in my hands, and I don't want, I'll eat grease, but red RTV already stinks. I'm not trying to eat this shit. Alright. This is going against everything I believe. But if it works for now, then it works for now. Really don't know how I feel about this. I already feel wrong putting it on. God, I wish I had some welding wire. Well, we'll let that dry and see if it's going to hold up to the standards of the high heat silicone. We will see. I know it looks like shit. I would have rather heat wrapped it. But we'll find out. Alright guys, it's been 2 days and I want to demonstrate something. All these YouTubers that are saying you use high heat red silicone for exhausts, you're an idiot. And I'm going to show you why. Quit giving people false information. Do not use silicone anything on an exhaust leak. Period. And then it needs to be welded or regasketed. Alright, here we go. This thing's been running for less than 2 minutes. It has completely cooked off. This dried for 2 days. There you go. There's your proof right there. It don't work at all. And yeah, I know a lot of y'all are going to say, well, you don't have it in a gasket area. It's not pressed together. Well, think about it. Even if it's somewhere pressed together, it's going to cook out of there. If that cooked off of that exhaust, then that's going to cook off of any exhaust manifold, headers, anything. It turned almost right back to the shit that it was before. Like I could almost use this as silicone again. So it does not work. I would not advise putting this on any kind of exhaust leak. I've been hearing all kinds of folks on YouTube saying, well, if you see red RTV on water jackets or anything like that, then an idiot has worked on it. Well, I have to say, if you're using a silicone for an exhaust leak, you are the moron. You are the moron. Most engines get hot. High heat. I've always used high heat silicone for all kinds of applications. Oil applications, water applications, whatever. It works great. I've never had a leak from this at all. I definitely would not use this for any exhaust leak. If you're going to fix an exhaust leak, fix the exhaust leak. If there is a crack in the manifold, either weld it or replace it. If you have bad gaskets, new gaskets. You can make gaskets for a lot of things, but you can't make gaskets for an exhaust unless you have the means to make metal gaskets. Otherwise, cardboard and cork gaskets, all that kind of stuff, silicone, it's not going to work for an exhaust. You need to fix it properly. Either regasket it, replace the broken part, or weld it shut. And in this case, we're going to be welding this. I'm going to have to get some welding wire to weld this shut, but definitely the best fix for this is to weld it properly and seal it like it should be sealed. But there's so many people out there on the internet giving false information this, false information that. Okay, if you don't want to use high heat for most applications, then fine. You don't have to. You can use whatever you want to use for water pumps and this, that, and another. But I specifically
if you have any brain cells, I would not use red silicone on any kind of exhaust leak, period. I'm telling you, this ran for 2 minutes, maybe less, and it is already cooked completely off. So, with that being said, we're on standstill on this project until I get a roll of welding wire. I mean, there's a couple things we can probably do here and there, but most of it is already done, honestly. Most of the engine is done. I do not know where that ticking is coming from. I've yet to find that out. But we are looking for it. I think it's somewhere in here in the valves on this side. I'm not sure if this engine is going to last much longer, because if it is a valve train problem, I'm probably not going to mess with this thing. I'm thinking either the valve is getting stuck and jumping, or it's hitting something, or it's just got a really bad seat and it's making a whole bunch of racket. But it runs for now. It's probably one of the most used tractors around here, so it's got a pretty used up engine. I'm going to try to baby it as long as I can, but you know, when she goes, she goes. But I think what we'll go ahead and do is maybe go ahead and pull off the back fenders and replace our fuel tank. Try to get us a good one in there. And then really, in all reality, after that, we're pretty much done. Give it a bath and weld up that spot on the exhaust, and that's it. Forgot I have a wire ran through the fender there, and I don't want to disconnect it, because that means I'm going to have to cut it. I think we can get the gas tank out from where it sits. We should be okay. So I guess let's start chipping away at this mud, getting to our bolts and getting this tank off. So we can go ahead and replace it. Alright, we got our new tank out of the shop. or the storage shed back there. It is very clean on the outside, but on the inside it has like a residue of rust lining the tank in spots, not the whole thing, mainly the bottom. So I poured my parts cleaner inside of the tank. I can still reuse it when it is done soaking in here, but I'm going to let it soak just to give it something to break that stuff up in there, and then hopefully we can flush it right out and it'll be alright. Trying to get it propped up to where it sits level, but that's almost damn near impossible. I'm just going to have to keep switching it around. But we're going to clean that out, get all that crap out of there, clean that tank up, and then we can go ahead and start the swap. It is the same tank, so it'll be a very easy switch over. Alright, so we also ended up adding some gravel to the tank, and slowly but surely it is abrasive enough when I shake it around that it is getting that crap out of the bottom of the tank. So I'm going to let it soak a little longer, shake a little more, soak a little more, shake a little more, and then we should be able to get this tank cleaned out and get on. We got our other one slightly removed. It's just hanging by the hose. But I think while we're here, I went ahead and took the air hose, chipped off a bunch of the dirt down in here, and blew it off, so the trans is actually some sort of clean. What we need to do now is, I think since we're in here, we'll probably go ahead and take a look at our brakes, see if we can possibly get something better out of it than we got now, because it's not ain't the greatest. I don't know how far my throw is. Let's figure that out real quick. Oh, it's hitting. It's bottoming out. Right in there. I think I'm going to try to add one more spacer in there. Maybe it will tighten it up a bit, because unfortunately there's no way to tighten these brakes on the side. Pads don't even look that wore. I might actually take the caliper off and put spacers in there too. I mean, I might as well, since I'm already here. Save us from having to do it at a later date. So while we're in here, let's go ahead and focus on our brakes, get them right, and try to do something with this wire here. Used to be the seat safety. I might go ahead and try to run it back up front, twist it in with the rest of the wires, so it is out of the way. Other than that, we're looking pretty good. Getting close to being finished on this unit. It damn sure needs a good washing. It's been neglected. But yeah, let's go ahead and do something with this guy. Do something with our brakes. Get this tank here out of the way, and then soon we can put our new tank in.
gravel, and parts cleaner did a good job. Now we're going to go ahead and empty all of that into our parts cleaner bucket. Sort the gravel out later on. Got our tank emptied of the cleaner, and we got our gravel out. We're actually going to save this gravel and use it for other tanks. Got our tank installed. Haven't got any fuel in it yet. We did tighten up our brakes a little bit. I didn't take it off and shim the caliper or anything. All I did was add something to give it more of a little more throw. Now we're going to go ahead and put the fenders back on, and then we can be done with the rear. And the only thing left to do will be to weld the exhaust leak on the exhaust pipe, but other than that, it's pretty much done. So let's get the fenders on and finish it up for the night. Alright, we got our fenders put back on. Lights are all hooked back up. Everything works. Works good. Let's see. The only thing I gotta do is get this wire up here secure. I might try to run it in that track on the tank. Yeah, there we go. I think I might do the same for the rest of the stuff up in here. wires are all out of the way. Everything's hooked up. Everything put back together. The only thing we have to do is the exhaust leak and fill it up with some gas. So I guess we're going to be back at this when I get some welding wire. Alright guys, before I call it a night, I have been working on something in my mind, and I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know what I plan on doing a video on some point. I think it's a cool idea. Give me any feedback or ideas on it. Would be great. But since we have a Snatch tractor, most Snatch tractors have a dolly that you can tow vehicles have, either flat tires or axles locked up or won't spin or brakes are locked up or whatever. So I've been constructing one in my head for the mower. Don't laugh at my drawings, but this is what I've constructed so far. Building a dolly for the tow rig. So it would have a welded together frame just like this, little cradles for the back wheels or the front wheels or whatever to sit in, and eyelets for the straps to go over the tires to strap them down to the dolly, and then it'd have stationary wheels on the outers that would just roll with everything else. Let me know what y'all think about that idea. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with it and build it. I just got to get the material to do it. I pretty much got everything but the metal to build the frame, but I really want to do it. So one more thing I'd like to say, people on Marketplace, they burn me out. I get so many stupid people with their stupid questions and their stupid remarks, wasting my damn time. Oh, will you do $150 for a $500 machine or a $400 machine? And then when I even entertain them with a decent price, they're like, oh, I don't want that. Well, piss off, you know. If any of y'all are watching that are like that, don't be like that. The world hates you. At least Marketplace people definitely do. The ones that are actually trying to sell things on there, you know, whether they're actually making a living off of it or just doing it on the side, we can't stand that. The hi, is this available? You know, if you really are interested in something, type out a message and, you know, show me that you're interested. People need to quit dicking around. I swear, I just wasted like 30 minutes with some guy, and he was just like, no, I'm good. After he seemed so interested in this, that, and another. Well, then why did you contact me? Everything's listed right there in the ad. Like, people can't freaking read anymore, I swear. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and quit ranting. I'm going to go inside, eat, take a break, upload a video for y'all guys, and then I'll be back out here on this project whenever I get some welding wire, and hopefully that's soon. So it's a couple days later. We haven't touched it since. I think what we're going to go ahead and do is pour some gas in the tank. We still have one thing left to do on it, which is fix the exhaust leak. But I don't have any welding wire right now, and I'm pulling into the project, into the shop to work on for the time being, and this needs to get out of my way. So we're going to go ahead and fill it up with some fuel, and we'll start it and ride it around the corner and park it. But I'm not pushing this thing. It is way too heavy. What's the inside of that looking like? Those are just the scuffs from the rocks and everything. Yeah, let's get some fuel, put it in this thing, fire it up, and see how she does. It would take a year and a day to start this one. Wait, the mosquitoes are getting my ass. Some bitches. Alright, here we go. Well, I thought I had some brakes. I have none. Oh yeah, that's nice. Got a little bit of brakes actually. Not too bad. And we'll shut it off. Cap up our exhaust tube. We're good to go. She's running pretty good, except for that ticking still, and the exhaust leak that we have, but hopefully we seal the exhaust. Maybe the ticking will quit. Otherwise, it looks a lot better than it did before. I like the light up top. I just like it. It looks really good. So, I guess we'll be getting back to this when I get some welding wire for the exhaust hole, and really that is all we lack on this thing, except maybe eventually I might come through here, guys, and actually I might do this when I get some wire coming near the flat piece of steel on each side of the bumper, because this bumper is prone to bending forward back into the hood. So if I put a piece of flat steel welded here and welded, you know, somewhere onto the bumper, it should prevent it from folding up. So we may do that too. But like I said, if we don't sell that one, we'll just have 2 green tractors running around the shop. So I'll see you guys whenever we get some welding wire and we can get back on this project and finish her up. Alright. It is maybe a week later, back on this, but we have a surprise. Thanks to HIPA.com, HIPAstore.com, my bad. I always think HIPAparts.com, and I always get confused. But it's actually www.HIPAstore.com. I contacted them originally for the Honda GCV 530. Well, they don't carry parts for the GCV 530. So I wanted a starter and a carburetor, but they don't carry parts for this just yet. He might decide. He did ask me, was these in high demand, and yes, to an extent. So also the Kohler engines. So when he said he didn't have parts for that, I was like, okay, well, I really need a carburetor for a Kohler CH20 20 horsepower V Twin, which is on the
tow right here. So he said he didn't have a carburetor, but he had a tune-up kit, which filters and all that stuff, which it did need. So I was like, okay, we'll just do without the carburetor for now, we'll do the filters. Well, he contacted me a little bit later and said, we don't have the filters in stock, and I don't know when we will. So Colin, the guy that I deal with, was very gracious enough to send me double what that cost, really, and was like, buy your parts. There will be a link down below for the tune-up kit. Now, I could not find a tune-up kit that was in stock that I could afford and wanted, so I actually opted with the carburetor. I did some digging and I found one for 21, 22 bucks, and it comes with filters and everything. So me and him had previously discussed that I was going to get the filter kit. I ended up getting the carburetor instead, but I'm going to leave a link for both down below in the description. I'm also going to leave a link to HIPAstore.com, www.HIPA, HIPAstore.com. Great company. They have good parts for a reasonable price. If you're dealing with mowers or any kind of small engine, if you think that they may have your part, you might want to check them first. They're almost kind of like the tire discount guys, or what do I use? It's not Discount Tire, it's PriorityTire.com. Those guys are really good, and they're good quality tires for cheap. This is kind of the same concept. So really happy to be working with these folks. But I'll turn the camera around, show you what we got. We got a single barrel CH20 carburetor for the Kohler. It has been needing this desperately for a very long time. The carburetor is wore out, and it is actually running very, very rich. I'm thinking this will solve it, because I know it's not flooding or anything. It's actually the jets and the carburetor is so wore out that it's just not doing what it needs to do. But new carburetor here. Set this aside. It also came with 2 fuel filters, which is surprising that it came with 2. 2 shut-off valves, which is great because I will use those. 2 little links of hose with some clamps. Also came with some other clamps. 4 of my most hated clamps. But these are better than these, I will say. So I'm glad they gave me an option. And then a brand new gasket kit for the CH20 carburetor. So without further ado, we're going to get this put back in the box, and we're going to go ahead, go get our tractor from the back, bring it up into the shop, start working on it, and hopefully by the end of tonight we can get a carburetor put on there, brand spanking new. Maybe be able to, I haven't got any welding wire yet for the exhaust leak, but maybe we can make some kind of a patch. Honestly, right now I wouldn't mind the exhaust leaking as much as if it wasn't dumping straight up onto my plastic, which Kohler, bad idea. I don't know why y'all put plastic valve covers, but it's dumping onto my plastic valve cover at the bottom, and it will melt that. So what I need to do is, if I do patch it, I'll just put a patch over that to divert the air instead of going straight up to going out the sides, and then it won't be such a big deal. So maybe we can do that as a temporary until we get some welding wire to be able to patch said exhaust system. But till then, let's go ahead, go grab it, bring it up in here, get this carburetor and everything put on, and see how much of a difference it makes. I'm hoping the ticking goes away, but I don't think it will.
I'm starting to think that's kind of a little bit of rod knot. Could be. It's a wore out engine, but I'm gonna run it until it dies and then replace it. So let's go get the tractor. Alright guys, it's going to be a little bit of an awkward angle for y'all to see. As you see, I don't have any disconnects. Well, there's one disconnect on the hood. But the other is just straight wire, and I don't want to snip it. I don't have any butt connectors as of now. So we're going to leave the hood on it. I'll set y'all up over here on the tripod, and you're just going to kind of see it from this angle. And we're going to go ahead and replace our carburetor. We have our battery charging as we're doing it, just to give it a little boost. And I think I'm going to also pull out and find a fuel pump to put on this. I do believe that's the original one, and it has been on here quite a while. So we'll replace our fuel pump, we'll replace our carburetor, a few lines maybe here and there, and maybe some clamps. Put on a brand spanking new fuel filter and get this thing how it should have been for a while. I've had this thing for 3 years and I've never really been able to do anything with the fuel system except for replace the tank. So by the time we are done here, we've almost got the whole entire fuel system replaced and working awesome. So let's dig into it. Alright, we got our carburetor out. Still gotta pull out one big gasket. Oh, don't tell me it's gonna be stuck. No, just busted loose. Come on. There we go. Just get it to slide off. Alright. Hey, it left a clean surface. We can install our, I'll probably clean it up a little bit, install our new gaskets, and then go ahead and start looking at installing our new carburetor. This one was very dirty, and I do believe that's stock. It's a Nicky, and that's probably why it's garbage. This is basically just a repop or a reman, or a remake really, because that's not branded or anything. So I'm sure it's just like the Nicky, but at least it's new. Probably not going to snip our sensor off on the end, since I don't really use it for off-road, and I'm just going to leave it. And I don't want to have to change out the ground strap, because it means I'm going to have to remove the top cover. So we're probably going to leave the ground strap that's on the tractor and just connect it to this carburetor and take this one off. Save it for later. But let's go ahead and get it hooked up and installed. See if there's a difference in it. It's running in its performance. We did find out that the line actually has a hell of a flat spot in it right there, so it was pinched in between something, and therefore probably reducing the flow of fuel into the carburetor, so that should also make a difference. I'm going to replace the line and the carb. Alright, we got our Fuel filter here changed out. We have now a shutoff on here. I left the fuel line from the tank to the filter here, but I've replaced it from here to the actual fuel pump. And then I probably will go ahead and replace that, I'm thinking. So let's go ahead and see if we got one and see if we can replace it real quick. And then we can move forward onto installing the rest of it and our carburetor. Alright, went digging through our parts and found a new enough fuel pump. So we're going to replace this one. This one is more than likely stock and been on here since I don't know when. So I'll go ahead and swap it out, get this better one on there, and then we're going to go from there and start with our carburetor, installing it and getting everything hooked up. Alright, got our fuel pump replaced. I do believe that is stock. That's pretty crusty and old looking. It did work though, so I probably will keep it and use it for something else. But since we got a almost new fuel system on here, except for a couple of lines, if you remember us replacing the tank, we did leave the line from the tank to the new fuel filter, but everything past that is being replaced. So really, except for one line, this whole fuel system is brand new. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start hooking up our line from our fuel pump and start plumbing it to where our carburetor is going to be, installing that and getting everything hooked up, ready to go. Alright guys, so we have got our carburetor. We have a fuel filter before and after the pump. And I actually just realized that fuel filter is backwards, so I need to swap that around real quick. Alright, switched it around, now it's facing the right direction. I put a clear line in that one spot because once I put the plate on, it's going to cover the fuel filter. Now I know it's back there and I know it's working, but I would like to be able to see a little window of hey, am I getting fuel past this pump, just in case for future things. So I put a little clear yellow line right there that I had. Otherwise, carburetor's hooked up, everything's on. I've got the line behind it this time, so it can't get in the way. It is out of the way of the throttle. Throttle still works. We've got our ground strap hooked up and our fuel solenoid. I did hook it up this time instead of snipping it. It's just a tow tractor. Everything else is new. New as new gets. So let's go ahead, put on our plate. I did clean that up. It was very dirty all the way around, so I cleaned it up front and back. So we're going to install this, and we got our little cup there and our nuts. So let's get everything put back together and fire this thing up, see how it runs, and hopefully we ain't got to use choke fired up. You probably will first time, but afterward probably should be just fired up, no choke. That should be a lot better. got better lighting now. I had to change out the batteries and the light there. We've had our battery on charge. We've got the whole fuel system hooked up. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's gonna run? Y'all think it's not gonna run? Y'all think it's gonna run better? Y'all think it's gonna run worse? Let me know in the comments. We're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up. Got the key right here. And I need to get it out of gear for sure. Actually, probably just go ahead and get on it. Oh! So I need to. My clutch is pushed down. Get this thing out of gear. I'm gonna choke it to get the battery or get the fuel circulated. Let's get a fuel line on. See if our pump and everything's gonna work. Oh, the charger is in the way. Come on, over there. Alright. Boy, this thing's taking a second. Okay, let me see, is it getting past the fuel pump? Sure as hell don't look like it. I might need to prime it. I might need to pull it off and prime the line. I hope not, but if I do, I do. I'm gonna put y'all on a stand and keep trying to fire this thing up. There's gasoline. Alright, we've got our bottle of gas rubbing alcohol mix. It's a 91 proof isopropyl alcohol. Give that a little juice. Get this damn battery charger out of the way. Do it. I don't see it getting fuel past the pump here. Well, I'm wondering if it's the pump. So at this point,
we may need to do is take the pump that we know worked, the one that we took off of it. We know for a fact it worked because I drove it in here. It worked fine. It's just old and crusty. Let's clean it up, throw it on here, and see if it's the fuel pump. If it's not, we'll go on to something else. But I think at this point we need to rule that out, because that's the only thing that's not new. Let's check it.
I know that bar is slightly in y'all's way, but excuse me for that.
I figured before we pull this pump off, I want to pull this line and see if just somehow, some way I can prime it. And then maybe it'll work. Let's see. Yep. There it goes. So
y'all need a good carburetor for a CH20. Check out HIPA.com. They got good stuff for a decent price. Let's see what this. I like the low idle. That is as low as I've ever had the idle on this. It would never go any lower. Couldn't.
what is going on, guys? It is the second to last day on our tow rig, Snatch tractor, whatever you want to call it. My wife likes to call it the lot lizard now. Don't know why. Oh, that's I don't want to call it that. I just don't. But she swears up and down until I put it. Until I give it a new name, it's the lot lizard. So, okay, whatever. It does haul stuff around the lot, and it is green. So maybe that's where she got it from. Hell, I don't know. But today, all we really need to do is patch our exhaust. Had that leak. We need to cover that with some kind of piece of metal or something. Just for now. It'll be a little bit of a challenge, but maybe I might know exactly what I need to do. I think I'm just going to get a piece of metal, some thin metal, and wrap it, kind of beat it down, and then take a couple of hose clamps, clamp it to it for now. That way, instead of the leak shooting straight up onto the valve cover, it'll shoot out the sides instead. And then that will temporarily divert the leak until we can get the welding wire, patch this up, and not have a leak anymore. So let's go ahead and get into that, get that done, because we're going to need this today. I've got something that needs to be done here in the yard. It is going to be a heavy job, and this is the tractor for the job. So we do need this unit. So that means we're going to be able to test out its strength, how good it's going to operate with this new carburetor, and how good everything's just going to hold up. I haven't really used it since we did all the work to it. We have rode it from this spot here back to over there, and back to over there, back to over here. That is all it's been ran since we've started this video. Besides running it in here, testing it, and stuff like that. So let's go ahead, take care of this little leak, and get this thing to work today, and see how it performs. I'm kind of excited to see, does it really make a difference, or is it just a slight difference? We're patched for now. Like I said, instead of it dumping straight up, it covers the exhaust leak right here, so it's going to dump it out over here, and over there. That's much better. And I did not uncover the welds that I did, the little tacky, shitty welds, because it does kind of hold some of the leak. It's just not the best. So, with that being said, we can use this now. I have to switch over to another video because I have somebody coming to get a machine. So I need to sell it. So I'm gonna go over there and make sure it's ready to go, and then we'll get to work with this guy. Alright guys, it is the next day. We were going to film last night, or yesterday, after we had fixed the tow rig. We were going to do a little work with it. Well, some guys showed up yesterday to pick up the green tractor, and it is gone. So we spent most of all day yesterday. Those guys were kind of cool. We kind of hung out, shot the shit, talked about it. I told them all about it. It ended up having a fuel delivery issue. It was spitting way too much fuel that it needed to, so in turn it was actually flooding out. It had a little too much oil in it, so when he put his foot on the throttle, it spit it everywhere, and it did need a battery. So I actually cut him a really nice deal and just let him take it. And needless to say, he ended up getting it for $300 cash. I feel like that was fair. It did need a couple things, very easy fixes. I told him the carburetor is so easy to replace, and so is the battery. Very easy fix. So I had it listed at $475. Originally had it at $675, and then I lowered it down to $475 over time. He came at $475, but I gave him $175 off, just for the fact that, hey, I said it was running good, now it's giving me issues, and when he was on his way, it was running great. When he showed up, it wasn't. So I compensated him for that. I feel like it was only fair. Hope the guy enjoys it for sure. But we're actually going to be doing some stuff with this old girl today. I'll test it out, see how it does. I got one small thing to do in the yard, and I'm going to need this. So we're going to get to work and see how she does. Alright, let's turn our fuel on. I'm not used to that on this, but I'm going to go get my wheel chopper too. So I might need my chalk. Okay. Let's take our cover off our stack. Yep, that's my cover. Keeps water out though. So let's see. No choke. I've always had to fire this thing up with choke. Let's see if she'll fire up without it. Nope. Not used to it having such a low idle. I might crank that up a little bit. I like the extended shifter. Go up this way. I cut a little path. Used to be just cut through. That way when the car show comes, I have a little path to ride. Now, this thing does well. Is to empty this. Oh, there's a nest in it. I don't want it to start that. And there's a bird's nest in it. I really don't want to disturb that guy. But I'm gonna have to. Where can I put it? Without really disturbing it. Oh yay, my food's here. Well, I guess I'm gonna start messing with this and see if we can find a place to put that and clean this out and get it ready to dump. Well, I guess we found out the strength. It actually broke it. So that's great. I guess we're not using that for now. I'll have to fix it. Get some welding wire and repair it. Damn. That really sucks. I guess we tested the strength of it, and it doesn't like big containers of dirt.
Damn. Alright, got the tote cleared out. Here's just a little bit of grass sticking up there, not much. What the hell is this? Oh, that's a piece to a car. That surely ain't the first one I found. So this is what all I found in here. This looks like some kind of stake. AC line maybe? Maybe fuel. Nah, I think this is fuel. Looks like an air filter for a chainsaw or a weed eater. And a whole Jeep symbol, which is cool. So, yeah, I'll be keeping that. And a socket. It is a 1/4 inch. Ooh, I like that size. Good. So, now that we got that done, unfortunately we broke the tow rig in the process, but we can fix that tomorrow. Alright guys, it's been 3 days since I've been out here. Down here in the south, if y'all are familiar with it at all, ragweed. I think this year, seeing over the 30 hump now. I think my sinuses have just decided they don't really want to work anymore. So the ragweed really screwed up my throat. Ooh, it was bad. It was like swallowing razor blades, and it swole about half shut. But luckily, you know, it didn't take me out, which is great, because I did not go to the hospital for it. I just laid inside and dealt with it. So, back out here, pumped up on a bunch of over-the-counters, keep me going. At least I can talk though. First couple of days, or first day I couldn't. We actually got us some welding wire now. So we're going to bring the tractor around and do the repairs. We still got to repair the exhaust, and we have to repair the spot where we broke the boom on the back. And then we'll call this video, because the next video we are going to be building the idea that I had discussed with y'all previously of the tow dollies. So we have the material, we have the wire, we're gonna build it. So y'all be sure to stay tuned for that. I think it's gonna be a cool little project, and I expect it to work pretty good. So I can't wait to see how it is gonna work. But enough of me blabbering. Let's get back here, get the machine, get it up here, see what we need to fix, and go ahead and start doing those repairs. Alright, here we are. We've got all this back here to fix. And then this up here. So I don't think it should be too much work. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up, get it around to the shop. Slip her in neutral. Let's get our key. Probably gonna have to choke it. Oh yeah.
I never did a... Is that full of gas? Yeah, I think it is. Damn. It's so full that there's no air pockets in it. That's actually really good. I don't think I've ever got a fuel filter that didn't have any damn air pockets in it. Let's see how it works. And this old girl just runs really good now. I'm not used to hearing it idle this low. I kind of like it. I don't think welding that exhaust is going to fix that tick. I'm pretty sure that is rod knock. Either that or it's a valve issue. And it's definitely on this side. But that also makes me think it might be the exhaust. I don't know. Let's go up here and get her in the shop. See about fixing this thing up. Alright, got her in low gear. God, I love this shifter. It's fucking perfect. Excuse my French, but I love it. It's just got that car feel. Very smooth shift on this tractor. Oh, hell. Damn it. Look at that. What is that? I can't tell, but it needs to get its ass out of my shop. Let me see if I can get it to go the hell on somewhere. It's probably not the smartest thing to do right now, but I'm kind of tired of them in here. Don't see any above my head. Get your ass on. I'm gonna kill it if it don't leave. Great. So yeah, that wasn't so smart. Now it's actually on the top shelf. God, I hate snakes. thing moved really quick. I don't like that. Can't see it anymore. Oh yes, I can. Now I see his ass. He's right there. Oh, I think the little bastard's scared. Good. Get your ass on. Nasty damn evil bastard. Getting over the whole snake thing around here. I think rat snakes are black. So really, what is that? Alright. So, I would actually like to know what it is, especially seeing that they're around my house. I think that is the same kind of snake that was in here before. Any of you guys out there know? Let me know down in the comments, please. I would really like to know what it is. Is it poisonous? Is it something that's just coming around? I'm sure it's probably coming around for the field mice. And I know that there's field mice out here because mainly of the trains. You know, all these goods get packed up in these trains. And they do have mice. I'm just going to let you know, almost all of your products that come across, they're shipped into America, they're shipped across America, have mice. So, that's just things that we deal with. But, I'd like to know what type of snake that is. I need to know what's around here. Alright, good deal. We have our boom repaired. I welded all the way around. Did a couple of gussets in there to hook to if I need to, and welded the back side, welded all the cracks, everything up really good to hold everything in place. I straightened it all back out, and no, they're not the same plates, but it'll work. And yeah, she's see if our backlight still works. Yep, it does. So indeed, that is fixed. So that is great. Needed it to be fixed. So I guess we're gonna move on to the exhaust in the front and get this thing wrapped up and done. Alright guys, good news is we have patched our exhaust. We ran a nice bead, triple bead, all the way up and down on that crack, and I ran a nice, well, not nice, but it's a lot better than what it was, bead around that. And I cleaned everything up, so we should be sealed off. Better than we were before, that's for sure. I think there was another exhaust leak on this pipe. Let's fire it up, see how it sounds. I'm hoping the ticking went away, but I highly doubt it. Like I said, I think it's valve issue or something of that sort, but let's see anyway. Yeah, still there. But I don't feel an exhaust leak. Which is important. So, I guess she's fixed for now. Make sure all our lights are still working.
big difference from what it was with the new carb and new fuel lines, hell, new fuel system. Strengthened rear, lights relocated. I mean, it really turned out nice. I'm not going to wash it because it just, I don't. It's going to get dirty anyway. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like down below if you did, and you know, it really helps with the channel. Trying to grow this thing, and it's still very slowly growing, so maybe if that was picked up a little bit, it'd probably be great, but not pressuring. But yeah, I'm trying to get things going here and there. We're still in the shop, so if there's a snake in here, it better get the hell out. Down below, seen or know what kind of snake that is, let me know. It'd be very nice to know what's lingering around here. And let's see, check out the Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Only one's different is Snapchat, it's an avatar. Otherwise, the rest of them are the same profile picture as the YouTube channel. So you can go to this platform, type in Flying Brown's Garage on search engines, and you should find me. Also check out the new group, Flying Brown's Garage Mud and Race Mowers on Facebook. Come join, communicate with us guys about your build, let us know what you're doing. We love to talk about it and converse with other like-minded people that are all about the mud mower, race mower scene. It's great to have the folks. So y'all come on and join in there. Love to have you. Like I said, we're working to grow the group as of now. So if you have any friends that are also interested in that kind of stuff, y'all be sure to join. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Go down there and leave a like I said. Comment down below if you have anything to say, questions, or just want to say hi. I try to reply to everybody. And like I said, check out the other platforms. That's where we kind of post updates on what's going on around here. You can also go check out some of the older videos if you're just in a fix. And y'all stay tuned for new videos once a week. So, getting ready for the car show, and I'll have y'all another good video to come. So I will see you guys on the next episode.